Greetings! This video is for both new users and previous users of my Excel-Checkbook spreadsheet for Microsoft Excel. This will highlight several new features added in April, which I'm excited to make available. Many people have been asking for the ability to split a transaction across different categories, and also the ability to enter a transfer transaction that automatically posts to the other bank account. Later this year, I'll look to re-record an entire walkthrough video, but for now, I just want to highlight what's new and improved. And if you've previously purchased the 2025 version, this is a free upgrade. In this video, we'll look at some new navigation shortcuts, the new split a transaction feature, the new feature to transfer between accounts, a few changes to the reconcile function, and a small tweak to the dashboard. Let's dive in. First, you'll perhaps notice some new buttons at the top. The first button makes it easier to navigate to the many different worksheets. And this updated version now has 10 register worksheets. Next, there's a button for entering a transfer transaction. For example, an entry where you are withdrawing from your checking account and depositing to a savings account or credit card account. Then there's a button for splitting a transaction, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. And lastly, there's a button to make it easier to switch to the settings worksheet, where you can customize all your category and subcategory options. Now, since the spreadsheet has so many worksheets, I thought it would be nice to have a button that you can click that makes it easier just to jump around. So when you click that button, it lists all the worksheets in here. And as an example, if I wanted to quickly jump to the future transactions or the reconcile worksheet, I can just do a double click and then I'm right there. And conversely, there's a similar button here on this sheet. If I click that again, pops up that window and I can go back maybe to the checking account spreadsheet. All right, well, let's take a look at this new feature called Transfer to and from an account. So when you click that button, you'll arrive at a new worksheet where you can enter in one or more transfers that you want to have process. Now, please note this is not actually moving any money in your bank. This is just you being able to record what you've already done at your bank website or via mobile app, whatever. When you arrive to the screen, it will remember any past transaction that you had put in, which can be handy if you just want to repeat that same entry, perhaps updating the date. But there is a button up here to clear that out so that you can start fresh. So as an example, let's say that on yesterday's date, I did a payment to my credit card. So I'll go ahead and put the details in for that. Let's say that that amount was $150, and then I have a place here to designate that it was from the checking account and it's been to my credit card account. And again, you can put in multiple entries in here, but if it's just a single one, we'll just go ahead and click this button here to go ahead and post that entry. So it automatically returns me back to the particular register I started the process at. So here's that card payment. And then if I go look at the corresponding register for the Capital One card, here's the corresponding entry that automatically came in here and it designated as a credit. All right, next let's take a look at the split a transaction feature. So with that, I'll return to the checking account. And when splitting a transaction, you will want to have the start of the transaction already in your register. So for example, if my cursor here is on a blank row and I try to click this button, you will get a message telling you that, hey, you need to ensure you have an existing transaction with the description, date, and amount before clicking to split it. So as an example, let's say that just a day ago, I went to the Walmart department store and I'd like to be able to categorize some different amounts that I spent there. So with my mouse on that selection, I'll click to split the transaction. Now this screen does give you some basic instructions here at the top, but the gist of it is that we want to put in our different subcategories of how we spent in this case, $278.41. So let's say that one example is that they spent a fair amount of money on pet food. So we'll put in, let's say, $40 for pet food. Also bought some clothes, and perhaps that was closer to $65 worth. Now I've got a remainder of $173.41. And perhaps maybe that's also still split up between household and groceries. But just for sake of this example, I'll just assume that the rest of it was for groceries. So put in that subcategory and then put in the remaining dollar amount. Now when I go to click the button to post those entries, what it will do is it'll add these additional splits underneath the original transaction, as well as make a small little change to the description of the original. So we'll go ahead and click that button now. Okay, so we're automatically returned to our previous register where we started the process. Here are those 3 new lines that say split transaction with the breakout of the subcategories I had designated for pet food, clothes, and groceries. And then for the original line, it did notice blank out the withdrawal amount because it's now been split out down here. But we have a reminder as to what the original amount was in the description, which is handy when you go to maybe do your bank reconciliation. It also changed the subcategory of that main entry to split. And sometimes that can be kind of handy if you just wanted to quickly look at all of the transactions in your checkbook that maybe you had done a split on. It's nice that you can filter on that particular subcategory. Okay, now the split feature will also work for deposits. So certainly, you could also do that. For example, here with this, let's say side income entry that's here, I can certainly click on the split button and then break out that particular deposit. Well, here I do want to make note that you do have the ability to customize some of the settings related to this split. So the text that gets added to the main line, the default will be split of and then the dollar amount. And also, do you want to have a default subcategory for the main transaction? Default here is just dash dash split dash dash, just something that looks a little different, makes it stand out better. Again, fully customizable. All right, well, we're going to return back to the main checking account and move on. And perhaps related to categories, subcategories, I thought it'd be nice to have a button that just quickly takes you to your category list, where you often might want to spend some time customizing and updating all of your subcategory options. Here on this settings worksheet, we also did add a button here for that jump. Just opens up that little dialog box to make it, again, easy to jump around to the various worksheets. Okay, next I want to make a note of a small change to the dashboard. So here on the dashboard, I thought it made more sense to have one of these graphs just reflect the different income sources. Let's do a refresh of the charts here. For many of us, you might have a side gig or just some other income sources, so it's nice to be able to see that broken out in the chart. And for a full walkthrough of how the dashboard and report screen works, please refer to the full walkthrough video for the 2025 spreadsheet version. And finally, I want to talk about a few changes related to reconciliation. So the button used to be blue, but it's now orange to match with the color of the worksheet tab itself. So I'm going to click on that reconcile button right there. And that opens up some rows that are normally hidden so that they're not cluttering up the screen. But when you go to reconcile with your bank statement, you want to put in your bank statement's date, and there's a link right here to make it easy to go to the reconcile screen so you can put in the particular dates that you're working with. Okay, returning to that particular checking account again. A few visual changes related to this. It cleaned up a little bit so that the withdrawal amounts are above the withdrawal column, deposit credit amounts are above that column. And if you did have some checks that were written in that particular statement period back in early January, so as in a quick example, let's say that there was a check written to pay a credit card, and that number was, let's say, 405. The check number was 405. So this feature does go and look for any checks in that particular date range and kind of calls them out separately, which can be handy when you're going to do your reconciliation. And as before, as you go to do your bank reconciliation and you're comparing your spreadsheet against your bank statement, you still have that option right here to start recognizing which transactions are reconciled. And as you go to continue to reconcile those, you'll notice that it does tally those up at the top of the screen. The last small change I want to point out about reconciliation. It recently came to my attention that a few banks will present your bank statement a little differently regarding written checks. For my own personal bank, the bank statements that I receive separate out the amount of checks from the total withdrawals on my bank statement. However, I understand that Wells Fargo is a bank that does that a little differently. So this now has the ability to designate whether for your particular bank, do they include the handwritten check amounts into the total withdrawals displayed on your bank statement. So you can indicate whether that is true or not with the little drop down here. Additional instructions related to this are documented here on the screen, as well as a link to an article that provides additional help with common scenarios and issues that you might run into as you're trying to reconcile your bank account. Well, that's a quick look at the new improvements for the April release. Thank you for watching. You'll find a link to the website in the description of this video. Thank you.